We're going to have people coming up with another Persian Gulf War syndrome type thing. We had Agent Orange in Vietnam, Persian Gulf War syndrome, and there's depleted uranium over there, and who knows what kind of illnesses we're going to see. And I try to keep up with that the best I can as a physician and as a congressman. The war is bad, but the obligation of the new generation, the young generation right now, to fulfill the entitlement system of $70 trillion is immeasurable. We just can't do it. We're totally dependent on borrowing money from China just to get by on a daily basis. I mean, what an irony. I mean, here we fear the Chinese and talking about them, and how are we going to deal with them? Are they going to be a military power? They're our banker. And the economic policy, although on the surface, we look like we're doing pretty well. There's a lot of wealth around, and unemployment rates are decent, but I think there's a lot of inflation. I think there's a lot of wealth that has gravitated to the rich, away from the middle class, away from the poor because of the monetary system. And it's something that I think is concerning the American people a lot more than most people will admit. And then ultimately it's the attack on personal liberties. You know, the post 9/11 atmosphere and the war atmosphere that's going on, and people are told, well, you have to sacrifice a little bit of your freedoms to be safe and secure, and we're going to make you safe and secure. And that's been a major issue, the whole idea of the Patriot Act being passed and warrantless searches, people being declared enemy combatants and never have the right of habeas corpus. These things are waking up a lot of people, and I think that's why we've gotten a lot of attention on the internet, and have made some breakthroughs here on even the national media, and able to get this message out. And to me, it's not complicated. I think we've got ourselves into this because we failed to follow some very sound advice of the founders, which was written down for our guidelines we picked forward. And to solve some of the problems, I think we merely have to go back and follow those rules, whether it's monetary policy, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's domestic policy. It's not like it's strange and complex. And I really come across, as bad as I see things, I come across as being very optimistic, because I expect this thing to get worse rather than better, but our traditions are so good. And we have some traditions of understanding what properties are, and free markets, and privacy. At least that's our tradition. Where the Soviet system came down, they didn't have those traditions, and they still have a mess, although they proved the fact that socialism does fail and eventually collapses. But our system is not that much more viable because we're living way beyond our means. So I'm offering up an alternative, and I think so far it has sounded somewhat different than the other 9 candidates.